Oh, drones are fun.
I want a new one. I'm going to get a new one, too.
You're gonna get a new one?
No, you know how I am about the drones. I'm really into it.
Yeah.
I love for all you out there that are into collecting, like, aircraft cameras and stuff like that. Hit me up. I got a page. I do. I got a DJI Fly page. You can go check me out. Like behind the scene, like video shoot stuff. I upload it. Nobody watches it.
I love how even just talking about drones, you automatically are just super zen.
Yeah, that's where I am. That's where I am. Like when I get into my drone mode, I kind of just float around.
Right.
I get balanced right out.
Would you say you kind of hover for a bit? You know.
So we're back on the Honeycomb Hideout. This has been going on for like a year and a half now. This is pretty good. We're still in the first quarter of the second season now.
Wow, we're still in the first quarter.
We did a lot of episodes. I was thinking we probably need like a place now where we can just share all the reels all in one place. That's not distracting to all other places on the internet. Because now we could go back and share some of the reels, from years ago. They're funny.
Oh my god.
There's some good stuff.
Back in the BZ time?
Yeah, it's good to see the evolution.
Before Zach.
Well, it was truly never a show until you got here.
Aw.
Welcome to the Honeycomb Hideout. We try to do this each and every hump day.
Once they let us.
And it's at 7 p.m. But I'm a little late today because we had to eat pizza.
Pizza's the essence of life.
Pizza party.
Hey, if you're just tuning in now, do us a quick favor and share this live feed.
Share, share, share.
Maybe to your story or to groups, couple groups, your page, but certainly your story. That way people see it, maybe be into it too. It really is the best way to keep this going is to continue sharing this. So I appreciate you guys being here. We're going to jump right in. Did anybody see the Incarceration Fest lineup?
No. Is it any good?
Well, did you?
I saw that it was released. I didn't see who was on it.
Put a 1 in the chat if you have seen, or if you're going. Put a 1 in the chat if you've seen the flyer for the Incarceration Fest. Pull it up.
Okay. Now I'm curious.
That's in Philly, or is that Ohio?
Well, we'll find out because Lexi can look that up for us too, if she could.
What was that?
Is it Philly or Ohio?
Oh.
Because I can never remember if it's Eastern
Ohio.
State or
Ohio.
Mansfield.
Well, it's at a prison.
Yeah.
So I mean
those are the two like famous ones, like Eastern State Penitentiary in Philly, which is the first one. Like the first prison in the nation, and then Mansfield Reformatory, which is where they shot Shawshank Redemption, and it was also featured in Air Force One.
This is
is hold on. So
has Bruce can talk about Mansfield a bit.
Has Incarceration Fest been at more than one prison?
I don't think so. I just know it was at one of the like famous ones.
Okay, so we won't be playing Incarceration Fest ever because I've been playing guitar in prison all my life.
I take it you don't want to go back?
And I don't want to go back. So this is what I'm saying. If we ever get a phone call and they say, hey, do I want to be incarcerated and play the guitar, we're going to pass on that one.
We're going to say no.
I'm probably the only musician in the country that doesn't want to go to Incarceration Fest.
Well, it's because you lived it already.
Right. Jeez. I'll start having flashbacks. Like, what did we get there? What time's chow time? Mail call. It'll be all that all over again.
Lights out.
Right.
Oh my God.
Lights. Right. I'll get on stage. They'll turn the lights off on me.
This is horrible.
Like Melissa's laughing when she's like looking at me like, why are you making fun of this stuff?
Well, if you can't laugh at yourself.
Where is it?
So this particular one, it appears to be in Ohio. It's in Mansfield, Ohio.
Oh, called it.
July. This is really tiny print. Sorry. Mansfield, Ohio, July 19th to the 21st.
Sorry.
And it's at the Ohio State Reformatory.
There you go.
Boom.
100 stars from Chad Betts.
Listen, I love you guys out there. Listen,
Thanks, Chad.
This is going to happen right now, too. So, I really do love you, and you are a great human being and an awesome person. But if you typed in SEPSISS, you would see right now that I'm answering your phone call on the live podcast. And that's why I can't answer the phone. So come over to the podcast and please share the podcast. So I really do love you, and you are a great human being and an awesome person. But if you typed in SEPSISS, you would see right now that I'm answering your phone call on the live podcast. And that's why I can't answer the phone. So come over to the podcast and please share the podcast.
Gio said it wasn't me.
I don't know who it is.
So I guess tonight we are taking calls.
We'll come up with a time in the future where we could make this happen. What were we even talking about? Shawshank Redemption. Go ahead.
We're talking about incarceration.
Ed says he's calling next. Kevin, thank you for 100 stars.
Thank you, Kevin.
What does Ed think about incarceration? I would go if Ed went. No, I'm serious. I feel safer around Ed.
Right.
I don't know why. He's been to more shows than me. That's why.
You just right around.
Hold on. I was hoping for some like audio back. Hold on. Is it possible that I could get some audio back, so I could play it for the listeners over the podcast? Thank you.
20 stars from Brandon.
Thanks, Brandon.
Thank you.
Brandon.
Brandon, you're awesome.
What a trooper.
He is, and more people should be like Brandon and send us stars, because we need gas money and plane tickets, or we're never going to make it to Rockfest.
I was gonna say,
Yes.
Wisconsin's like 200 miles away or
Right.
something like that.
So far, we've gotten up half a plane ticket for Rob. That's where we're at right now.
Half a plane ticket. Does that mean only half of him can fly?
Yeah, that means the other half is his drum kit.
Oh crap!
We got to still get the drum kit there. We're still figuring out logistics. What's going on with Shawshank Redemption Fest?
30 stars from Kevin.
We're gonna
Thanks,
get there.
Kev.
We're gonna get there, Kevin.
So the headliners for Incarceration
Yeah,
Fest.
just give me a couple.
So
of them.
Friday we got Breaking Benjamin,
Break them.
The Offspring,
Off them.
Nice.
and Chevelle.
Who?
Chevelle.
Like
You know-
the guitar?
It says
Company?
Chevelle.
Chevelle's a car.
I might be pronouncing it wrong, but
I love
it
the
looks like
cars.
this.
But you don't know. You guys don't know about Chevelle. That's because you guys are young. I know who Chevelle is.
It's Chevelle.
I'm older than you guys. I know about.
Oh, Chevelle. The V is for some reason the V is capital.
It is capital.
It's like, you want to know why? Because I think it's like a hood ornament. You feel me?
Like the
Yeah.
Mercedes.
No, the reason why, because I know who they are. That's why.
That's
a Chevelle.
fucking brilliant.
There was a time when Chevelles were like the okay, you want to know why?
They're like the Cadillac of.
Because you in a Chevelle.
Gotcha.
You got
Understood.
100 stars from Ed.
No, that's what I'm talking about.
Ed!
Ed knows what a Chevelle is.
Message
Damn.
received about the Chevelle.
And Dan.
We're going to have to listen to
Saturday.
some Chevelle after this.
Yeah.
100 stars from Chad.
What's going on here? Well, we're going to make it. I'm going to start tallying this shit.
Hell yeah. Saturday, we got I Prevail.
Ooh.
Hailstorm.
Ooh.
Godsmack.
Ooh.
That's Friday's gig.
They're my neighbors.
100 stars from Kevin.
This is the Star Wars.
Star Wars!
I know, that was kind of corny, yeah.
It was great. Very intergalactic. Then Sunday. We got Parkway Drive,
Wow.
Woo!
It's a good one.
Bad Omens,
They're all good.
and Shinedown.
I ain't heard a bad band yet.
Shinedown.
Now, there's a reason why. Let's go back now. So, did you guys know about any of the people that were on the Incarceration Fest lineup? Did anybody see the announcement today? Okay, and what do you think most people said in the blogs and all the public forums, in the Reddits, and all of the places where people chitter the chatter? What do you think that they said about the lineup when they heard the lineup?
They hated it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it was probably all negative.
Bro,
They hated it.
that's why I'm bringing this up.
You got 200 stars from Chad.
Thank you,
Woo!
Chad. Chad, did you happen to see the Incarceration Fest? What the hell's going on? Are you guys fucking with me?
It's Star Wars.
I think
Does that mean we have to change topics?
Right. The topic is Melissa interrupts us every 12 seconds, and that's the end of it. It's the end of the podcast. Everybody, good night.
Hey, I just realized we're playing with Parkway Drive too.
Okay. Now, see, there's the
Spoiler alert.
right.
200 from Chad.
See.
There's also Kill Switch on this one too.
Hold on. I was going to do it again. So, Parkway Drive, Kill Switch,
Oh my goodness.
Shine Down,
100
Shine
from
down.
Kevin.
Shine Down.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So, we're just going to start there. Let's start there.
Start there.
Let's just start there.
Let's have a start.
Parkway fucking Drive, Shine Down are also playing at our show at Rockfest.
Yay!
So I was like, and now look, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because when I saw all the public forums and the chatter faces and all the snapper doodles and the Twitters, and did you get the new one now? The old Twitter's back now?
Is it back to Twitter now?
Yes, but it's
no
not
longer-
called Twitter. We'll get to that in a minute.
What's it? Tweeter? Like,
Come on, we'll get it. We'll get to this.
It's Tita.
We'll get to this titter. So everyone in the titter box was mad, like they always are, in all the groups. So I went to the groups, like the Incarceration Fest fan groups, and they were rip shit about this Incarceration Fest lineup.
This looks amazing.
And it looks a little like, it is different, but it's similar to the lineup at Rockfest.
Yeah.
When is this being held?
This is being held July 19th to the 21st.
Okay. That is a really... How's that possible?
wait.
That's what it says. July
Okay.
19th to the 21st.
They must be swapping bands or something. Alright, so maybe... So peep game, right? Some of those bands are playing opposite on the same weekend.
That explains so
Yes, I'm trying to teach everybody
much.
something.
Oh, I was gonna say, so they're probably like on tour.
I'm trying my hardest to teach everybody at home, when they're mad about these lineups, they're under the impression. The reason why I'm having this conversation, the reason why I'm sharing the Incarceration Fest story, because I saw a similarity. When the Rockfest flyer came out, I saw a lot of people go, I'm only happy because Sepsis is on it. I'm only happy because Shinedown's on it. Oh, I've heard a lot of people express that they did not like this year's lineup at Rockfest. And I was stunned because I'm on it and I'm too happy to be anything else. I'm biased.
Right.
I'm fucked. I'm on the show. If I wasn't on the show, maybe it would be easier for me to find something different about it.
Mm-hmm.
But let's face it, we're in a little band and we're really excited to play it.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if Chuck E. Cheese was on the lineup somewhere, it wouldn't be upsetting to me.
Hey, don't knock the Charles Entertainment Cheese Group. Those guys rock.
There was something that always scared me about them, but I don't think it was that. I think it was the pedophiles in the bathroom.
That's definitely
Chuck E. Cheese. That's why they took down the mouse house.
a smart decision.
Well, Lisa,
decisions.
the mouse house.
That gives new meaning to the ball pit that was there.
Nobody ever goes in the ball pit. Nobody. Do they?
No comment.
So, drama. So,
Hit the wrong button. Sorry.
Okay.
100 stars from Kevin.
the moral of the story is people are going to be disappointed no matter what you give them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You could build any lineup and have 100 bands on it, and someone's going to say it sucks. That's what I learned. And I also learned that I'm not playing favoritism. A lot of these fests aren't giving a huge opportunity to new bands. Rockfest and Incarceration Fest are not those festivals. It looks to me like Rockfest and Incarceration Fest, for the most part, are doing something that here on Sepsis we always argue people don't do and are not doing enough, and that's they're giving people a chance to play.
Mm-hmm.
All the
stars from Ed.
all the time. Thank you, Ed. All the time we are going, nobody gives the little guys a shot. No one's investing in new bands. Every year people complain these festivals have the same old people on it, the same old headliners. They're never giving people a chance to play newer bands. New bands never get exposure. We can't make that argument this time. What do you guys think? Thoughts, feelings?
It's easy to, in comparison to the two flyers, it's easy to see how they booked all the bands.
Right, Lexi, this isn't, when fans go, I don't like the lineup, I think they think that someone's doing something personal to them.
Mm.
It's just that a lot of artists that you might want to see on the lineup are touring in other countries or other places. There's a big world out there. And artists don't like going to the same festivals over and over again. I hate to burst y'all bubble.
Yeah, for example, I don't see Spirit Box on here before, on here this year, and they played last year.
That's what I'm saying.
For example.
They might be on to bigger and better things this year, or maybe they're working with an agency. A lot of times, these bands are working with agencies. Mm-hmm. In our case, we were just lucky because But if we were a bigger band, we wouldn't be lucky. We would be organized, and it would have been presented to us differently. Mm-hmm. You know, when you guys are watching the Sepsis story, you're watching a much smaller band, and you're able to watch the story up close. You know, when you're watching even a bigger band like Spirit Box or a much bigger band like Sleep Token or something, they're not as visible as it might feel like on social media. For the record. So, I mean, it comes down to logistics. A lot of the bands that you might want to see on these festivals are in Germany or Canada,
right,
or other places. It's only warm certain times of the year. Like, you guys got to remember, July, it's warm other places.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Does that make sense?
Plus, too, I mean, I feel like even like Warped Tour, you wouldn't see the same band on Warped Tour multiple years in a row. Usually, like, they would kind of flip-flop.
Right.
You know? And I think that's smart. It's kind of like you don't play the same city within a certain time frame, you know, otherwise you just hurt your draw. So if it's like, oh, they're playing Rockfest for, like, the 4th year in a row, who cares?
Right.
I saw them last year and the year before.
Right. If there's some sort of massive success career climb within that time. You know what I mean? I wouldn't expect these bands to be returning to the same places unless there was something for them to achieve. Whoever headlined Incarceration last year has probably set out goals and different plans to achieve different things this year.
Right.
Than last year. So don't take it personal. I promise you. Keep lobbying. And if you really do want to see your favorite bands at these places, fight like hell. I don't know what this young lady's going to say.
Sepsis fucking rules.
That's
I agree
good
with
enough
that.
for me. I mean, that's good enough for me. Hold on, there's 3 here.
I can't wait for Rockfest. Like, seriously, if anybody misses Rockfest, they're really missing out.
She's right. I mean, she's absolutely right.
100
Thank you,
stars
Krista.
from Kevin.
She's right.
She is. We need to listen to this.
All right,
This
is the last one. I don't know why we're getting stars like that.
Like, you already know sepsis is gonna wreck that stage.
Yeah, she's right.
Yeah.
She's right. We are going to wreck that thing. That's good. She knows us well. No, we really look forward to it. And to those bands and people that are hoping to see something different next year, get mouthy.
Right.
Get out there. Instead of being upset about who is or who isn't, get behind the bands you want to win. I've never understood people who just go, oh, I don't like the way things are going. That's not good enough. If you've got enough energy, to be vocal or fussy about the lineup at these shows, then you have an equal amount of energy to put into getting behind the bands you really want there. Don't just look at a flyer and go, oh, my guy's not winning. My team didn't make the finals. You as a fan, you as a person that loves music out there, I'm included. We need to get behind the bands that we want to see win. We need to get behind them. We need to get behind them solid, consistently. And we need to keep pushing to see our favorite performers on that stage. That's how it works.
You are the fans. You have the power.
And the bands, don't be lazy. Work with the fans. And, sometimes as the bands, right, the bands got to come down off the stage every now and then and be with the fans, not above them all the time. And in this way, we all work together to make the community stronger. Yo, I love Krista. I hope she can make it. She plans on going. Because everybody plans on going now. Like there's a big convoy of everyone going. I just hope.
Are they all going to shuttle together?
I hope most people go that can. So if you guys want to, we have a big it's almost like it's going to be a sepsis village over there now.
Hell yeah.
At Rockfest.
Everyone should get a flag.
What do you think about that?
Everyone
Swarmy Village.
Should get a flag.
Swarmy Village at Rockfest.
And then they'll say Swarmy Village on everyone's flag, and then they all can camp together like a village.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be cool? I'm picturing this with you.
All right. So, did you guys know that the last rock song to reach #1 Billboard on the Hot 100 was none other than Nickelback's How You Remind Me in 2021?
I did not know that.
3 doors down from a puddle of nickel creed.
And what are the Grammys?
Do you guys want to talk about the Grammys now or later? We could talk about the Grammys. Lexi's going to talk about the Grammys. Amazon scraps plans to acquire the Roomba maker robot. Is anybody upset about that?
Roomba maker. What?
Yeah,
Roomba?
this is the end of the vacuum company. You know the little
Yeah, the little disc that
everybody loved. I thought people liked it.
Wait, they're getting rid of it?
What?
I'm going to read it again for all you people out there. If you own a Roomba, heads up. Amazon scraps plans to acquire Roomba, the robot that vacuums the floor. And this is my guess. People finally woke up and said, well, what the fuck, man? I could just sweep the floor myself.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't want to have to get Amazon Prime to be able to vacuum my floor.
I mean, how many devices are you going to own that lives your life for you? You realize people that have owned Roomba for 15 years are going, what the fuck, man? I've got nothing to do. I'm gonna vacuum. What did we used to do before all this boredom?
And also, they probably have tripped over it numerous of times. It's taken forever
I didn't think of that.
for it to find the mess that you need clean.
I didn't think about pain reduction. What do you think Amazon thinks about Roomba pain reduction? Do you think they're gonna lose money on what? Lost change? Weed clippings? Like, I can't imagine.
They gave up on trying to teach Alexa how to get under the couch with the vacuum.
That is bananas. Why did they even try? You want to know what happened? They're probably like, you know what? In the time that it's taken for us to program this robot to sweep the floor, we could have just swept the floor.
I'm also thinking about all of like the hackers and stuff that probably have hacked into those machines and like did.
By the time it takes you to go get new batteries to put in this thing, you could have just swept the floor. That's the, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Just sweep the floor.
It just have been easy to stand up, get a small broom, and sweep the fucking.
It's pretty easy.
This just shows.
It's not a difficult task. I mean, I think we should get robots to like build cars and shit,
right?
Or cannons or whatever, laser guns or whatever we're gonna do. Microchips. I understand that. You need somebody to rebuild somebody's neuroscience or in left leg. You get a robot to do that, but you don't get a robot to sweep the floor. I think we figured it out.
This just shows how lazy we are.
Right. You don't get a robot to make music for you, sweep the floor, or fuck your wife. I mean, play with your wife. You know what I meant. I'm not supposed to swear anymore. YouTube's cracking down. Never again. That's not what I said.
Yeah, you're supposed to replace the word like they do on TV.
Truck.
What the fruit are you talking about?
Truck all that business. Let's cut the crust. Let's cut the crust and get right down to it.
Bless you.
Thank you. Hey.
Jeez. So much swearing around here. You got...
It's making me sick.
Yes, be able to complain about a Roomba spreading poodle poop.
Oh, man. That's terrible. Like you come home and it's just like the dog shit on the floor and then the Roomba goes in and spreads it around. Hold on.
No.
That's crazy.
That's disgusting on
I don't
so
want that to
many
happen.
levels of disgust.
I don't want it to happen.
That's nasty.
That's not a good time.
I don't need a machine for that. The kids at school do that enough.
Look at damn.
Ew.
Damn. You know what? They're going to replace you with Roomba.
Oh my god.
Well, they can in 2 weeks. Won't be my problem.
No, that's true. That's true. All right, so I don't know. I wasn't going to include this one, but I said, oh, fuck it. Truck it. All right. I guess Big Bird is suddenly small and everyone online's mad.
What?
Is this true?
Why do we give a fuck?
Why do we give a truck?
Why do we give a Frank?
We're never going to be able to do this. Never mind. We're just going to swear. If we get kicked off of YouTube, fuck them.
Yeah!
All right. So Big Bird is suddenly tiny and everyone online is concerned.
Is it because he lied to begin with? Or?
What?
I didn't know that this was a big deal. So there's an ongoing national nightmare, and it's not enough that people are talking about it. Big Bird is now small. He's even tiny. I repeat, everyone, Big Bird is now Small Bird.
Well, he is white, isn't he?
They call him Big... well...
Why is this such a big deal?
How did this begin? We do not fully know, but Big Bird, seemingly out of nowhere, has posted on Twitter...
Oh, no!
...that he was always small, and as if he woke up that one day, suddenly he was 8'2". His frame shrunk to a smaller size, and we're just supposed to go on living.
Oh, it must be cold out.
What is going on here? The account for Big Bird has posted repeatedly about being small and being stuck in his new tiny size.
Chad said little bird.
Big Bird seemed to grapple with his very identity, and frankly, the posts feel like cosmic horror. So this is one of Big Bird's posts. Big Bird says, Day 2 of being tiny. Does this mean now that I'm just Bird? Okay.
Whoever the creator for this character is...
Then Big Bird goes on to post later on, does anyone know how to make me Big Bird again? That's really depressing. I mean, Day 3. This is Day 3 of his ongoing saga. Day 3 of being tiny. I was able to get to Hoopers, but Baby Bear didn't see me. Do any of you have suggestions on how I can get big again?
I think there's a pill for that.
Kevin said Oscar's in the trash with the Roomba.
Oof, this is crazy. So, I mean, so all this would be funny, right? But I guess people, like human beings, went fucking crazy when they saw this.
What?
No.
Why?
Huh?
Because they have too much time on their hands.
Oh, right. No, I guess people that were like grew up on like Sesame Street and stuff like that started throwing around like prejudice and you know what I mean? Like making him a little bird and all this, and we shouldn't do that to him. Do you remember a couple days ago when Elmo...
I was just about to get to that, but I kept laughing.
So, I don't know if you know about this. Same thing happened like weeks ago. Elmo said that he was depressed that the world wasn't looking well or something like that.
Oh, yeah, so he's asking everyone how they're
doing.
And he said, times are rough right now, everybody. Elmo knows that you're checking in with... Yeah, come and check in with Elmo and let me know how you're doing. Dude, humanity fucking broke.
Yeah, and they all sent him suicide letters.
Yes. I mean, it was crazy. Go look up people pouring out their heart and breaking down for Elmo. And it makes sense because he brought everybody just back to they were 4 years old.
Mm-hmm. And then
grown-ups.
They killed their childhood with Big Bird 2 weeks
Now
later.
they're doing it again.
Well, this
is like what they did to Starscream back in the Transformers when they started offing Transformers. In the 80s, God. It fucking scared the living shit out of all of us because we all love these guys, you know what I mean? And one day, and the truth is, you can go read about this. One day, those of you that were born in the 80s, especially that are males, know exactly what I'm talking about. They had some changes in the art department in the cartoon, and they had some story rewrites, and they were bringing new characters in and out. So they had to get rid of some Transformers and replace them with old ones, you know? And they did this like in a cartoon or two. And all of a sudden the whole Transformer cartoon was like recreated. And it was fucking devastating for the franchise.
20 stars from
Kids fell apart. Because the reality that, you know, parents got to separate from their kids at some point to kind of break the illusion of unconditional love. Mm-hmm. That was Transformers for boys in the 80s. Ask them all.
Oh my gosh.
I'll tell you. So, bring Big Bird back. YouTube expands youth safety measures for safety internet.
That's awesome.
That's good, right?
That's awesome.
Content and social media managers at YouTube Marketing, because they were yelled at the other day on the house, included updates to its in-stream take-a-break prompts, a broader rollout, and they've got this new thing now, too, where, like, if you find content of you and you are underage, you can there's a new remove my identity. And and then they have these bots that will crawl the internet that will look for your identity and remove it from social sites.
If you don't want.
It's interesting. Facebook tests generative AI prompts for better post captions. Yes, because that's why we all joined social media, so we can read posts from text chatbots. Like, if you're posting on social media and it's that fucking terrible that you need a chatbot to do it, you already shouldn't be posting anything.
Right.
If you can't come up with your own creative posts, then why are you posting?
They should make websites for people that just want to post AI stuff. Social media apps are kind of like built around human beings. I feel like they should take I feel like they should take artificial relationships and move them to artificial places.
Right.
Just like artificial music. I don't think we should get rid of it.
Just
put it
somewhere else.
Put it where it belongs.
Artificially.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You put naked shit where naked shit goes.
Yeah.
You put adult stuff, you put the liquor in the liquor cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
You should put artificial
right.
AI stuff with artificial...
Right. You put the driver's stuff. License goes in the DMV and the A, B, C, D, E, F, fucking G, man. TikTok prompts users to download a new dedicated search shortcut. Melissa told ya. TikTok is now Google.
Yeah, they're turning into like everything.
Well, Google sucks so bad. I mean, you might as well.
Yeah, Google does have some SEO.
The only thing that doesn't suck about Google is that all these AI models and search engines are all being trained on Google's vast amount of data collection that it has. You see what I'm saying? Like, when people are like, oh, Google sucks. Yes, but they train ChatGPT all on the data that is stored on Google. You know what I mean? Like Spotify's information is stored on Google.
Right, but Google's kind of like that outgoing employee that like management knows is on its way out. So they purposely like trick Google into training its replacement.
That's true. That's a very good analogy.
Corporate America.
No, that's real. Yeah, so this is the other one on Meta. Meta expands its programs to protect teen users from sextortion. And it's called Take It Down. So like say like two young people make a sexy tape. Mm-hmm. And then they part ways. Yeah. One wants to punish the other one with humiliation.
Revenge porn?
Yeah. Well, when children do it, it's called cyberbullying. When adults do it, it's called, there's all type of heinous crimes for that. Right. You know what I mean? That
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure that's a felony.
It is, but when children beat up on each other, it's different. The laws are different. So in this situation, there's now a tool for eligible people of age online, age-worthy people to take down. Anything that's underage should be taken down.
Oh, absolutely.
But I'm saying this is for people of consent that are young people that don't know no better, that make mistakes, Maybe you have a silly girlfriend or boyfriend that wants to get back at you. So they take your silly tape and they upload it to everywhere online. Mm-hmm. They have a new policy now, a new tool that aggressively, it's an AI tool, that makes a signature to your image and then crawls the internet and takes down all images associated with your signature. Mm-hmm.
So you can like erase yourself from the internet?
You can erase yourself from social media.
Forever. Even your data?
Yep. Yep, it's brand new.
And only AI can do that?
Well, no, there's these brokers that do it. I mean, of course, you're asking me additional questions. I mean, if you had something up on YouTube, could you ask them to take it down? I don't know. You'd have to go through whatever steps for that specific thing. But I'm saying for this is a new tool that just came out this week. That it doesn't matter which website it is. If you are a teenager, if you have been abused, if you have been exploited on social sites, you can use this new technology called Take It Down.
That's freaking cool.
And it's called Take It Down.
And it takes
it down.
That's awesome.
It's fucking cool. It protects kids.
Right?
That's awesome.
Anything to me that protects kids is fucking 100%.
Yep.
Of course.
While accepting the Dr. Dre Global Impact Award at the Grammys, Jay-Z had some beef with the Recording Academy he needed to get off of his chest. Well, that's weird. I've been saying this since we started the podcast. But if Jay-Z says it, maybe people will start listening. It worked with Dee Snider. Temporarily.
I was going to say, which time Dee Snider's very outspoken.
Yeah. Apple has announced that Usher's entire music catalog is now available to listen in spatial audio ahead of his Super Bowl halftime show. Melissa, I told you. Look at that. The Super Bowl is now advertising spatial audio with Apple Music after I said so 2 years ago. And everybody thought I was bullshitting.
Spatial audio is the way of the future.
You have spatial audio at your house.
I do. Yes.
It's good. It's good.
I love it.
No, it does. It is pretty cool. Put a 1 in the chat if you have any devices or speakers at home with atmospheric or spatial audio. Adobe Atmos. Is that what you have?
Yep. Yeah, the
That's
Bose
the big
system
one.
comes with it.
Yeah.
Actually, all the sound bars I have it. Specifically Dolby Atmos.
Google's. Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, and then Apple Music will tell you which songs are already remixed into the spatial audio.
So the reason why I brought up the spatial audio thing, because there's a major beef right now between many pockets of the music industry, but especially DSPs like Spotify, who are really ticked off about Apple paying artists more money if they upload their music with spatial audio. So if you're yes, you got that right. If you're a musician and you're uploading your music to Apple, you are eligible to get paid more royalties if it is spatial or atmospheric.
Huh.
Yeah, so that's the reason why I brought this up.
So there's benefits to you using spatial audio?
Yes, and right now, like the other leading competitors in digital service providers are really mad right now at Apple and iTunes because they're waiving rewards and incentives for artists that can utilize spatial audio. But we all know that a lot of artists haven't caught up and have been educated yet on spatial audio. And they also know that poor people can't afford to record in spatial audio. And where do the independents and DSPs really hijack their coin from? The independent community. Mm-hmm. So if they're rewarding, people to make higher quality music, then that really sucks for large acquisition companies that collect shitty musicians. Because they're saying, in some aspects, Apple's promoting quality music. Where the others are, come one, come all. It doesn't matter if you know how to play or record. You too can... Because the prestige of being on Spotify is to be able to sit next to, cool artists like Charlie Manson or R. Kelly. Well, you didn't know those artists? Tupac went to jail for rape. Everybody loves him. But the prestige to be on Spotify is so you can be right next to those artists. So you can be seen amongst the stars. That's why everybody loves Spotify, right?
I didn't realize Charlie Manson's album was on Spotify.
Yeah. Huh. You got killers, rapists, all kinds of...
Well, I know that, but Charlie Manson specifically. I know he had an album. I didn't realize it made its way to...
He's got more monthly listeners than Sepsis.
Is his album that good, or...?
No, people are that bad.
Gotcha.
R. Kelly is a convicted rapist, but he has more followers and listeners than any local band that you can name. People don't care. If I made a song about cutting up puppies and it was popular, people would go with it. We determined that last week about lyrics. People don't care. As long as it's
catchy.
And if it's who they like, if it's who their group aligns with, they'll do anything. History has proven that over and over again. We'll do anything as long as the group's doing it. People say, I'm not going to do AI. Yes, the fuck you will. Just the same way we did the internet. I remember people saying this. When the internet came out, people said, I'm not going to do the internet. When people started putting, after 9/11, we started doing cameras on every fucking street. And everybody said, hell no, we won't go. And I said, yes, the fuck you will. I'm from law enforcement, and I know you're going to go. You're going.
I was going to say, it's not a choice.
Our neighbors are not fighters. They're going. Mm-hmm. If we're going electric, we're going electric. If we're going cameras on the roof, we're going cameras on the roof. When we went cell phone, we went cell phone. Internet neutrality, didn't matter what your opinion was, if that's what we were doing. Same thing. When the internet came out, people said internet or nothing. You can't get a job unless you're on the internet. You can't make music unless you're on the internet. Kids of today that are born today think music comes from the internet. They don't know that people had to put music on the internet for it to come out again. Kids today are born, they think that knowledge and history and life is in the internet. And we extract it and bring it into the real world. They don't realize that this is a snapshot and imaginations of what happens in the real world. This is an accelerated, amplified, distorted, mutated version of instant bullshit.
Created by man and then put into the device.
Right. But when you ask many people today, if it doesn't come out of this fucking piece of plastic, it ain't even real. And if you disagree with it, or if it doesn't make you feel comfortable, it's fake.
Wow.
It's a fucking wild animal.
That's crazy.
Response. But we did the same thing. We kicked and we screamed how we were never going to have our kids on the internet. We fucking swore how we were going to fucking do this and that. We were never going to let it happen.
And now everyone's on the
So
internet.
come on.
Everyone has a tablet.
I went to when I was 16 years old, I went to jail. I was 16 years old. And the toughest, this is the first wake-up call I ever had. The toughest motherfuckers in the world were the people that I bumped into in my life at this time. And I remember they were getting rid of cigarettes in the jails. When I was young enough, when I started doing time as a kid, they still had cigarettes, and you could buy cigarettes in jail. You could smoke cigarettes in jail. It goes to show you how old I am.
I was gonna say that's.
I didn't.
But when I was a kid, you could smoke in the mall.
Right.
I remember.
Like you could smoke in the
that.
food court. There was a
Right.
place where you couldn't walk in a department store and smoke cigarettes and strawberries or something. You couldn't do that.
Smoking or non-smoking.
But there
I was
was
gonna say,
there
as a
was
kid, I
there was
remember that,
sections
yeah.
and it's. I mean, I think maybe even in Florida, you still might be able to smoke. If you're in
There
Florida,
are no laws in Florida.
well, okay, there you go. Put a one in the chat if you're in a state where you can smoke in a restaurant.
I think that's a federal offense now.
Okay, so where was I going with this? Oh, so I was in a county farm, right, and they were getting rid of the cigarettes, right, and I remember during the time it was like they put out a notice and they were like, in 30 months we're gonna start breaking down and getting rid of chewing tobacco, and then they were like, in 4 months, we're going to be no more menthol cigarettes. And then the guys that didn't like menthol, stabbed each other a few times and threw a temper tantrum. And then that was the end of that. And then it was like, we're getting rid of all rolled tobacco and everything else. And everybody knew it was coming. Mm-hmm. We got closer and closer and closer. And all the biggest tattooed tough guys and gang members and racist motherfuckers and hardcore dudes lifting weights and guys missing eyes, and they all were threatening they were going to tear the place up as soon as they take my cigarettes, and they better not. And you heard all the tough guys, all the killers, the lifers, everybody we're all going to band together. It was this big thing. When the cops take away the cigarettes that month, we're all going to make fucking weapons. We're getting ready. We're going to go to hell. I'm telling you. I was there. And the guys that were there with me, some of them watched this program. They know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. And everybody swore to God. Now, when the cigarette war comes and happens, which side are you going to play on? I'm going to fucking die for these cigarettes. Even though you have a wife and kid at home and a newborn and a job and a mom and all this cool stuff, in front of your big tough buddies, even though you're doing 28 months or whatever you're doing, 5 years, you're going to die over these fucking cigarettes. And sure as shit, week to week, the canteen would happen. For those that don't know, the canteen is like a weekly or bi-weekly store that the prisoners can go to buy soap, stamps, and at the time, a long time ago, cigarettes. And they notice after notice would go up on the wall. And they'd say, get ready, guys, we're doing away with cigarettes. The state of New Hampshire has made it a decision that we're doing away with them. And all the way up into that day, everyone threatened complete war, and we were all going to die over it. And then the day came when they were going to take away the cigarettes. 3 dudes tried to throw a temper tantrum, and the police cracked their fucking skeletons off the pavement, and that was the end of it. We're going to do AI.
Yep.
And then you're also going to do whatever else they tell you to do. Because 9 out of 10 of you out there aren't half of what those guys were in that jail.
You're gonna do it.
You're gonna do it.
You're gonna do it.
Trust me, even during slavery, it's Black History Month, even during slavery, not everybody thought it was a great idea. They just weren't brave enough to be outspoken about it. When all the Catholics were sucking off little boys, they knew it was wrong. They knew it was wrong. It's just, you make an argument with all the people in your family? These are the same people you see at your family reunion. It's not that, it's just that when things are all popular, we do some dumb shit. Our humanity does some dumb shit. When it's really popular, we make mistakes, guys. It's kind of like when, you know what I mean? When we, even after we use like the nuclear weapons and all that, we were kind of like, ooh, we don't want to do that again. That's why we all signed a treaty. Because we all agreed how horrific it was. We really didn't know. It's like, oh my God, look at that. That's fucking nuts. Let's try not to do that so much.
No one wants to push the red button.
Right.
Mutual destruction.
Right. And what he just said there, the fact that we can all know that we can mutually do it kind of keeps it so it doesn't. Anyway. Hallelujah. Oh, so Elon Musk.
Oh.
If anybody can smell that from here, He's put a neural link in somebody's brain. Finally.
Oh.
What's this?
Basically, they put a chip in your brain, and for $8.99 a month, you can have it do basic human functions for you.
And it also has the latest releases on Netflix.
Yeah.
This is dumb.
I don't know what it actually does. Some kind of chip that...
Huh. It's a cell phone.
Huh.
Why do we want to do this?
We don't.
We don't. We just got done talking about this. Look, why do people stick cell phones up their ass?
Because it vibrates.
That's a better reason.
I mean, I don't know.
Because they want to watch Hulu. All right. Here's 120 things that you probably didn't know were created by black people.
I know
I've
peanut
been
butter.
waiting for this list. I've been waiting
It's
for
just some weird
this
shit.
list all day.
It's a weird list.
I'm excited.
And the reason why we're going over this is because we celebrate Christmas and Halloween and everything else. We can also celebrate other people.
Hell yeah.
George Crumb invented potato chips.
He invented the potato chip.
Supposedly, this is according to Wikipedia. Don't everybody come after me and lynch me or anything. I'm just.
That's
this is
awesome.
Hold on. This is American history according to Wikipedia. So anybody that wants to
That's so
throw a
cool.
temper tantrum, I will block the shit out of you.
Which means it's history created by me, because I edit Wikipedia like crazy.
That's so cool. I love potato chips.
A customer sent his dish of French fries back to the kitchen claiming that they weren't good. In an irritated fit, Crumb cut the potatoes as thinly as possible, fried them until they were burnt to a crisp, and then threw a generous handful of salt on top, and that was that.
So the potato chip was created out of spite.
Brilliant.
Nice.
Garrett Morgan developed what he called the safety hood. After noticing how many firefighters were killed by the smoke on the job, Garrett Morgan later constructed tubes connected with wet sponges and filtered the smoke, and was known as the first gas mask.
Nice.
That's fucking awesome.
Well, can I just tell you guys something? When you're poor, you have to make stuff. When you're comfortable and you have everything, there's no reason to make stuff. I can tell you this by being in prison. Guys in prison learn how to make all types of shit that people out here never would. Because there's no need. You have everything here at your disposal, so you're always battling really great creative ideas already that people have come up with. Poor people and people that are under hardship wind up finding alternatives to gas and electricity because they can't afford it.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Philip B. Downing created the mailbox design that featured an outer door and an inner safety door to avoid parcels from being stolen. The safety device allowed mailboxes to be set up everywhere. Charles Drew became interested in researching the preservation of blood when he was studying at Columbia University. Drew discovered a method of separating red blood cells from plasma and storing them into components separately with centrifuge. This is known as a blood bank.
Huh.
He
Think of
invented
what
the
you-
blood bank?
Think of what we would never be able to do if we didn't have that. Okay. Wow. Sarah, and not to be fucked up, but a lot of these people figured out this stuff because agriculture in different places, that's where they came from.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't uncommon for an old black guy to come up with a way to seed a field because that's what they had to do, you know? So this lady, Sarah Boone, was one of the first women in history to receive a patent. So this is documented in U.S. history, and she created a narrow curved design, making it easier to stretch out garments and improving the design of the ironing board we know today.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, she didn't invent the ironing board though. She made it into the design that
She perfected it.
Yeah. So think about it, it's like Google. They didn't make up the search engine, but for a while they perfected it.
Mm-hmm.
This one's kind of fun. Earlier we were talking about Garrett. Garrett did a bunch of stuff. Another thing he did was he was the first black person in Cleveland to ever own a car, which I thought that was interesting. I wonder if he ever got pulled over.
Of course he did.
Little joke there. After he witnessed a severe car accident in an intersection, he expanded on the current traffic light and added a yield component warning online drivers of independent doom. So he made up a 3-light traffic. Before that, it wasn't 3.
Oh, so he invented the yellow light.
Yep.
Huh.
That's freaking cool.
Refrigerated trucks. Automatic elevator doors.
Huh.
The Electret. Not electric. The Electret. It's a type of condenser microphone. I know this just from school because it's in my time.
Mm-hmm.
Color PC monitors.
Oh, no kidding.
Yep. Mark Dean. It's a famous guy. He worked with IBM and all of them. But that's modern. Most people should know that are my age. Here's one that I always thought was funny growing up. Did you know a black guy invented the Super Soaker?
Really?
Super Soaker, yeah.
Huh.
He was actually, so the Super Soaker was invented by a NASA engineer. So he's just used to making pumps and tanks and shit like that. And
So he made the Super
And then he
Soaker.
thought, water gun.
yeah, boom, and became a fucking, That's how he did it.
Genius.
The tissue holder, peanut butter, automatic gear shift, clothes dryer, dustpan, folding chair, golf tees, ice cream scooper, lawn mower, lawn sprinkler, modern toilet, mop, reversible baby stroller. Yes, drag queens, logomania, and many, many more.
That's fucking awesome.
There you go.
That's
See,
so
that's
cool.
weird. I was always taught in school that white people invented everything except peanut butter. But
Peanut butter.
Except peanut butter. But the American educational system having a racial bias,
Well,
seems unlikely.
this bit of history that I got is directly from, and only references American history. I didn't go outside
Right.
of. There might be a different history if you ask somebody else, but this is according to Wikipedia and their references on American history, namely the American institutions. Certainly isn't my history. I didn't invent anything.
Neither did I.
I love this, guys. If you guys don't know who Luminate is, or Nielsen, Nielsen, put a 1 in the chat if you know anything about Nielsen. But when we write and record music, when we upload music to the internet, and before we upload it, we have to put our digital signature inside the metadata of the music. If you don't, if you're an artist right now and you haven't done this, and you have music uploaded, you're fucked. If you have not figured this out yet in your music career, you should probably rip all your music down tonight. So there is, in order for your music to be tracked, and in order for it to be played on the radio or the internet, and for machines to collect your mechanical royalties, and when I mean by mechanical royalties, I do mean the royalties that are generated by the machines, by plays through machines. Jukeboxes, radios, whatever. Mechanical royalties. Not like royalties from a performance. That would be like BMI. That would be like performance rights. That would be something different. So, in terms of mechanical royalties, if you are an artist, you can look up Mechanical Licensing Coalition, the MLC. There's companies like that can help you track your royalties and your mechanical royalties across the internet, radio, terrestrial, college. So if you haven't done this, if you've made songs and you have not embedded your codes, and you're probably like, what the codes is he talking about? Not only is it important to know like the name and sometimes even like your credits or whatever, but the metadata that's not inside on the album cover, that's written inside the music file. Like if you're creating a full album with an image, you'll create an image file called a DDP, okay? And in that image file with the DDP, there'll be the image itself and the metadata that goes along with the album. In each one of those songs, there's going to be critical information, like an IRSC code. IRSC codes are generated like a social security number or an EIN number. So if you guys are clueless about what I'm talking about and you think you're in the music business, stop right here. and make sure you look at the time stamp on this video and go back and listen to all these words that I'm using, because if it sounds crazy to you, then that means you're so far from being in the music industry, you need to turn all the way around and start all over again. So in your music, there'll be these identifiers, and you can purchase them, and these identifiers are specific to the writer. Very important for you to understand. So when you've composed and written this music, you're going to take this code. When you master your music, when the music is being mixed and mastered, it's going to get to the mastering process. You're going to take this code and your name and you're going to embed it in the song. So when that song is played anywhere in the world, anywhere in the world, there's mechanical devices on the internet that are listening for your music to be played. And when that sound is played, when your music is identified, your code will pop up and your royalties will follow you. This is how we get paid from music. There's no other way today for you to get your mechanical royalties unless you have these codes on there. I mean, you potentially could have hundreds of thousands of dollars sitting out there on your music, and then you just don't know it because you have never added these codes and metadata to your music. So the company that used to do this, and that's how you get on, people like, how do you get on billboards? How do you get on charts? How do you get on these things? You cannot unless you have these codes that are embedded in the music, because that's how billboards, and that's how the metal contraband charts, that's how they all are able to track this, by following the music.
And those codes.
All right. This allows me basically to give my song to 5 people in the room. 5 people in the room play it from 5 different places, and it's still paying the same person. That's how it works.
It's like blockchaining.
Yep.
It's exactly what it is. When you play Blacklight, it plays me. When you play Blacklight, it plays Melissa. It plays the band. If you write sepsis online, we know about it. Somebody could say something, I don't like those guys' shoes. We're going to see it. There's something every morning that tells us everything, all over the internet, that tracks us all day. So Illuminate is the company that took over Nielsen. Nielsen, you might remember from SoundScan. I don't know if anybody knows what I'm talking about, but if you're in the music industry, you will. Nielsen and SoundScan are no more. Now it is Illuminate, and they just acquired an artist ID and metadata company called Quantic that plans to make music data offering to the next level. So for a long time, Nielsen has been Nielsen was really out of date. It was really like JavaScript. Upload your stuff. It was like an email process before. When you wanted to upload your music, and then get it registered with Nielsen, you had to talk to a human. So you'd have to email Stacy.
Yeah.
She'd have to look over your codes, double check it, load it into the database. It was very analog.
Wow.
Ugh.
That's crazy.
Now, this is a very good thing. I'm not going to go too much into this, but the purchasing company, which provides sales sats for Billboard's charts, unveiled Quanzac deal via formally released today. While the buyer opted against disclosing transactions, financials, Billboard connected Luminate, and another one, Painski Media, didn't pinpoint related details earlier, but didn't indicate that it was newly acquired operation boasts the world's largest artist identification database. This is what the world has been waiting for.
They need
Right,
this.
yeah.
We have been waiting. I will take this article after and I will put it in the Yellow Jackets so people can get up on this. If you're part of the Yellow Jacket Superfan group, I will put this article in there because you want to get into this, especially if you are an aspiring or self-employed musician. We have always wanted. People go, what's the biggest problem in the music industry? Paying the artist. What's the biggest problem paying the artist? Having one centralized way to pay artists. Music is global. It's not state. It's not town by town. So music can't follow the laws town by town or state by state because we all experience and listen to music differently on a global level.
Yep.
So because music is on a global level, we're not really sure how to pay for it. That's why musicians always get ripped off, because we can make the excuse that it's so confusing that we just don't know how to pay anybody. You see what the issue has been? The issue has always been that there's a new device and nobody knows how to pay the musicians. And by the time we all learn a trick, there's a new device and we don't know how to pay the musicians. In the meantime, everybody loves music, and fuck, the musicians are used to getting screwed over, so what's another device? What's another royalty? So this is good. It's a turn. It's the turn that I predicted. It's the turn that we really wanted to see.
Nice.
Lexi, let's have at it. Google, right?
Google.
I'll be right back.
Google.
It's in the line. I got it in the line, too.
I was looking for my notes. So, I'm sure you guys have seen or experienced Google search engines being kind of poopy lately. And by poopy, I mean you'll type in looking for information. Let's say you want to look up one of your favorite metal bands or something. And you type it into Google, and it gives you every related artist to that artist, but not the artist, or not what you're actually trying to find. It kind of like beats around the bush, or like right, or like the keywords that you're typing in are no longer working. Google has been found by this German researchers that Google is plugged with SEO spam. And the SEO spam was detected back in December after tracking 7,000 plus search queries along 3 different search engines, not just Google. So like Yahoo or Bing, they were looking at those ones as well when conducting these researches. And because of AI being used to generate SEO search results, that may be the reason as to why Google and other search engines have been discovered to cause a bunch of spam, making looking up things on Google an absolute nightmare. So now you can no longer be like, oh, you can look it up on Google, or just look it up on Google. Like, it's becoming difficult because of AI.
I'm always stunned in the amount of, oh, look at this technology and how terrible it is for us and our children, and look at how defective it is. You know, it's very convenient to call this stuff defective when we're the ones that put all the information on it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's going to be the next thing, is how terrible AI is and everything like that. And it's like, we had the chance to say something about it before it, I don't know, ate a baby.
Well, the one thing about AI is it takes human input. So the people that are creating this technology.
So are the robots dumb or is it the people?
It's human error.
And I was just about to say, so yeah, the people that are putting together ChatGPT.
We're like, bad chatbot, bad search engine. But like, no, it's the people
I was
that...
going to say, really, it's Frank and IT that messed up.
Right, if Frank trips over the cord, Google goes down.
Right. So like, let's say you're using ChatGPT or Bard and these big companies have them. Well, there's criminals out there that are very smart people and they can hack into these AI things and input things.
Or people that work there.
Or even people that work there. You mentioned that, so that's why I did a different example.
People that wind up touching the kids usually work at the daycare.
Yeah, even people in the companies, they're corrupt, so they'll start doing things and start messing with people.
Yeah.
It's corporate America. You're going to have the corrupt stuff, you're going to have the criminal activities and so on and so forth. Even just regular old people just inputting things
Sometimes
in there.
Google feels global, but it's not.
It's not.
You know?
They're not the only search engine.
You know, and we remember, some of us remember the World Wide Web. Not really the net.
The World Wide Web.
Yeah.
You know? The World Wide Web was something that you crawled on. The net is something you get caught in.
Well, net was actually supposed to be for network.
Yeah, I know. I'm being
It's almost like people...
You're right, Lex.
It's almost like the people don't understand what
I
.org means or .net or .com. Like, .com is .commercial. Facebook .commercial. That's why there's advertisements everywhere. Because everything's .commercial.
Good thing we have Lexi on this program. I'd be .dumb.
You put that in the search result. ... You'll have what happened on Spotify last year.
Did you have any more to that? Because Google does.
Well, Google is starting to make attempts, just like any other search result that's encountering these spams and pollution in the search results. They're making attempts to clear up the influx of spam. But there's still more adjusting. There's always going to be a constant battle with the people that are creating the SEO search results to battle with the AI search results.
Google is dominated by advertisements. And any time that you have a platform, Facebook too, that survives and is dominated by ad space, that's why people go to Google, is to buy being at the top of search engines. That's why people go to Facebook. That's why small companies love Google and Facebook. Google and Facebook live off the little guy.
That's why things like Reddit are starting to become popular, because they're starting to become a big search engine themselves because of the fall of Google.
A small paint company in Rochester can become a big paint company with a nice Instagram.
All they need to do is just do one thing different, or do 1% or 2% different than the other guy.
Right. If
kind of like I said, what Reddit's doing.
Right. If they can justify it sometimes, if they can offer something better than the leading competitor. Sometimes.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think that goes right into what I was saying earlier about young people, under 25 now using TikTok as the newer Google.
Probably for shopping, I assume.
Yes, specifically. Shopping, dining, hang out.
Because you're also mentioning last week.
But that's what you do. A lot of kids are not like researching Constantine.
Some might be.
Under 20. I want to find. You're 20 older.
But I'm still researching Constantine.
You're 22 forever.
And I'll still research Constantine.
You are the most different young person I've ever met in my life, except for my own children. They're unique.
Thank you. I'm glad that we're different. Different
is good. Spotify reports double-digit subscriber growth. 80.6 million operating loss for Q4.
There was a loss.
I just want you to just hear that. They have reports of double-digit subscriber growth. And still, 80.6 million operating loss for Q4 that just ended. Spotify just can't get any money.
Aww.
Even though they have all of those advertisements.
And
they
not
have
paying
all...
artists.
Well, they just hired Joe Rogan again. I'm sure that cost a pretty penny.
Oh, well, there's your 80.6 mil.
Dude, they're screaming right now.
We're screaming.
Spotify's monthly active users surpassed 600 million during 2003's final quarter, when a total subscriber approached a 240 million profit and failed to monetize. Wow. According to the new earnings report. This is all public information. The Stockholm-based audio platform posted its Q4 finals today, following a massive round of layoffs in December. Wow. Amid an adjacent push for operational efficiency. As the fourth quarter, Spotify's monthly active users specifically numbered 206 million, up to 5% quarterly and 23% year over year per the breakdown. In keeping with the year's running trend, remember they promised. Remember in Q3 they promised. They said, this is it. We finally cracked the code. We got it. We're going to keep it up from here, baby.
Sounds like they're people pleasing now.
Oh, boy. As streaming continues to catch on with emerging markets, Spotify attributed 32% of these MAUs to the rest of the world. That overly broad classification encompasses all nations outside North America. Weird. Nevertheless, Spotify's 236 million subscribers, 15% year over year, 4.4 quarterly, remained heavily concentrated in North America. Why didn't they report on it then? That's weird. Shifting to core financials, Spotify attached $3.67 billion in revenue to the fourth quarter, up roughly 9.4% and 16% year over year, and still busted and couldn't pay nobody. So they're claiming that they made more money than they ever have. They have more subscribers than they ever have, more monthly listeners than they ever have, and they can't afford to make any profit for themselves. They had to pay everybody. That's how much they're paying the artists. That's the claim. That's the claim. I want to know, how is Spotify going to justify the next price hike? What are they going to give? What are they going to give? What do they have for people that's going to justify? What is Spotify up now? I mean, I wouldn't pay for a service that didn't pay the bands I didn't like. Let me rephrase. I would not subscribe to a service that refused to pay the bands that I supported and liked. I personally would not. I know a lot of people that subscribe to Spotify, and when you tell them, hey, they don't support or pay the local or regional acts, people don't care. People want what they want. They don't give a fuck about musicians. That's clear.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are a very rare few, and we know what they look like when we see them. Most people don't give a rat's ass what we're eating at snack time. They just assume music and movies be free, like it was when they were stealing it off LimeWire.
Support local.
Not her.
So they say.
They do.
So they say.
Yo, Zach, you want to get Let's do Afro Man, bro. Cause
Yeah, what's up with Afro Man?
So,
I know nothing about this.
A little
Same.
Okay, a little background on how I heard about this story. I watch a lot of like law enforcement interaction videos on YouTube, like body cam footage and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So I'm scrolling down and I see this video, and it's just a screenshot of like police busting through a door, and the title is, "Will you help me repair my door?" So I'm like, oh, this ought to be good. So I click on it, and it turns out it's actually a music video from Afro Man, and it's a whole song. So
Genius.
The Adams County Sheriff in Ohio, where he lives, obtained a search warrant through information provided by a confidential informant.
He was doxxed?
Yeah, that he had this like human trafficking sex basement, and that he had like 1,000 pounds of marijuana in his house. So they got a warrant. He wasn't home when this happened, but his neighbors called to say like the cops were busting his door down while his kids were at the neighbor's house playing and watching this all unfold. So he could, from his security, like he has security cameras in his house, so he was watching on his phone as the cops raided his house, went through, stole like $2,000 worth of cash. But yeah, so he made music videos about it when they didn't charge him with anything because they didn't find this alleged 1,000 pounds of marijuana.
Man, I've got to watch
insane.
this.
That sounds insane.
I have never even heard of this.
Oh, the songs are very catchy too. I'm hooked. But,
holy shit.
But so basically, they raid his house, steal his money, and when they don't charge him, he asks the sheriff's department. He's like, "Well, are you gonna pay for the damages? Are you gonna come help fix my property?" And I guess the sheriff just went, "We're not responsible for that." So he made these music videos using the security camera footage, and he made these songs about this in an effort to raise the fund, because they did $25,000 worth of damage to his house. And out of that $2,000 they seized in cash, they only returned most of it. I think they kept $400 still, even though they didn't charge him with anything. Because the way that law in this country works is, if they seize it during a drug raid, it doesn't matter if there's charges or not, they can keep it. Which is a whole other issue. So he made these music videos, and he used footage, and the sheriffs featured in his music videos are now suing Afro Man for public humiliation, and they claim that they've received retaliation from the public, that they can't.
Afro Man, isn't this the guy that gets high?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, he's not dangerous.
No, not at all.
No, he's not.
There was no kidnapping victims. There was no massive drugs.
You're talking about because of get high.
Yes,
yes. Man, he's cool.
Yeah.
Wow. This is insane.
So
I can relate to that guy. Except for, well, I can relate to both of that, actually.
I was gonna say it's a weird legal thing because, like, on one hand, if
I wonder if the department, here I go, I'm playing devil's advocate, but I got to do it. I wonder if people that weren't affiliated or associated with the search are being affected, and that's really what it is. You know what I mean? Like,
the only people involved in the lawsuits are the 7 sheriff's deputies that were involved with the raid.
Shit. Okay,
so they claim that their likeness is being used without their permission, and that it's an invasion of privacy because they were just acting in accordance with their jobs, executing the search warrant.
Afro Man was acting in accordance of his home when he was living in it.
Right. And, Afro Man's argument, which is, and I agree with his argument, is that they're suing him for humiliation, even though he was humiliated by them breaking into his home,
right. If anything,
this
is a solution out of the humiliation. See, humiliation takes secrets and lies to continue. By him disclosing it and it being open ends the humiliation.
Right.
So no one's being humiliated.
So you're not being humiliated when you're telling the truth.
Right. And as far as their right to privacy, sure, in a home you have an expectation or reason of privacy, and the Constitution supports that. However, that's only in your own home. If you're in somebody else's home, you have no reasonable expectation of privacy.
Oh, that's true. That they were in his home while.
But they're suing because he's making he sold T-shirts with their faces on. And I mean,
That is funny.
you gotta watch the songs; they're hilarious.
I'm gonna.
How
Lemon
many
Pound
songs
Cakes.
are there?
I think
There's
we
at
should all
least
go
3
get.
directly related to it.
Oh, you could definitely do half an album on that shit.
Oh, he has a whole album. There's 3 videos specifically that I've seen, and they're all hilarious.
We have got to watch this, like,
Yeah.
as soon as possible.
But yeah, so in the latest update in the case, which came in October, a judge dismissed some of. So Afroman filed a motion to have the case dismissed against him because it's kind of absurd that these cops are suing him after they broke into his house and, stole his money and, and now they're suing him because they feel humiliated. But the judge did dismiss some of the charges against him, but I guess the trial is still set to proceed. But there's been no update. Yes, Robert, they did have a warrant.
Damn.
And the warrant was for narcotics and kidnapping. And yet, in the videos it shows of the sheriff, they're going through like his suit pockets, like in his closet, or through his CD collection. And that's one of the lines in the song. It's like, "Did you find any narcotics in my suit pockets?" Like
That
like,
is different.
yeah. So it goes to show, and I'm not a super legal expert, but I know usually with warrants they have to be extremely specific what they're allowed to search, the time, the manner.
Right,
so.
if you're going in there for Swedish Fish, you can't come out with Sour Patch Kids.
Right. Like unless it's in plain sight, but I don't think going through somebody's closet and then individually going through their pockets and taking out cash, I don't think the warrant
Depends how it's written up, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't read the full warrant.
You're not going to find a kidnapped child in a shirt pocket.
No, or in a CD case.
It's going to be a hard case to bring forth.
Right? But yeah, that's the long and short of the Afroman thing. So I'm after, reading into some of these articles and seeing the footage on both sides, I'm still on the Afroman side of it because
We have to get an update on this one.
Yeah.
for sure.
I got all my pings set, so anytime something
love
comes
this.
up on this.
This will be the last one for the night. Automakers showdown heats up over removing AM radio from cars now. Isn't that sad?
They're removing AM?
See?
Why?
Lawmakers and automakers are at odds over AM radio as the move to exclude the technology will certainly impact emergency response for electric vehicle owners. So, a lot of the new EVs, they don't want it. They're saying they don't want this technology in the car. It's outdated. AM radio sucks. They want nothing to do with it. Look at Lexi's eyebrows, everybody. See him go up? That's because Lexi has probably never listened to the AM radio, but she can already tell that we need it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you ever listened to AM radio?
I never listened to AM,
There's some good stuff on
but
it.
it's needed.
AM radio saved my life.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure all the safety traffic updates are still on
I was
AM
going to say it
stations.
saved my life when I was in Hurricane Katrina, and AM radio damn near saved my life. So I that's why I thought this was it.
Isn't AM radio what they used during the Great Depression? Isn't it when they
I don't
invented
think
that?
so, but maybe.
Well, I know
No.
AM came before FM,
Oh.
so...
We can look at this.
I'm gonna look
I don't
at
know
that.
a lot about the Great Depression.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. People are depressed
think-
now
yeah.
more than ever.
Well, right. I was just trying to think of
No,
when
I know.
AM was discovered.
No, I just think it's interesting when people under 30 talk about the Great Depression.
I know. I wonder what was so great about it, too, Like...
It's not as great as the
Doesn't
Depression
sound
now.
great. It doesn't sound great.
If you compare the Great Depression to the New Depression, it ain't got shit on it.
I mean,
No,
just look
still-
at Elmo's post on Twitter.
right.
It's pretty depressing.
Right.
Yes.
Tesla, Volvo, BMW have already stopped providing AM tuners in some of their models of their cars they produce. That's disgusting. Last year, Ford said that it's also going to join the pack and be like everybody else and drop the AM radio tuners from its vehicles and soon all the other copycats are to follow. Automakers by law are to include AM radio in their vehicles. Congress is seeking to have this passed.
Nice.
I think that's kind of cool.
Right?
They're going to force them. Come on, let's force people. I'm going to force this AM on ya. You're going to listen to fucking polka at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, keep AM radio.
Well, I think actually AM still has like rock stations.
They
and
have
stuff like that.
the fucking awesomest shit on
Yeah.
AM.
I'm
The
gonna
only
listen
thing
to AM tomorrow.
it's the best.
I'm
The
listening to
only
it
thing
tomorrow.
it is awesome.
I'm doing this.
In every way. They read story. It's the original podcasting.
Shit.
Dude, before there was any like Joe Rogan or any of these people, like, bro, Howard Stern,
Yup.
Rush Limbaugh, Howie Carr, like the Dredge Report, Stephanie Miller, and just like so many more. These are all like AM radio personalities that were like Jenna Marbles.
I'm aware of Howard Stern.
Right, that's what. Right.
I love how that was your takeaway.
Right.
And he is kind of like, he is like Jenna Marbles.
But that's the original. Like, that's the original shock jock stuff. That's the original.
That was on AM first?
Yeah.
I think Howard Stern was also the guy to start on AM, but don't quote me on that. I know he had a very meager start.
Then why are we trying? Why?
And to think,
Force them to keep it.
To think though that AM radio led to iHeartRadio.
Yeah, and all the other big radio stations.
That don't play music anymore.
Yeah, they only play 25 people. No, they only play 4.
Think of all the space on AM radio right now that could be playing like dope new radio stations that we make up. Like, why? Like, you could spin the dial on AM right now from where you're standing, and it's going to sound like this. And not just because every Sunday we got
kind of like how they do
True
on
that.
Fallout when you're trying
right,
to find
but
them.
all that extra space, man, that is all space. That is all frequency.
Yeah.
That we could be like
Using.
That's all dead air.
Come on. Why don't we have like? Why doesn't all the independent music industry just take AM?
Let's take it.
We'll go over there. Fuck
Right?
it.
Fuck
AM
yeah.
will take anything. They won't even pay us anything as it is. We're used to it.
Let's take
Right?
it. Let's take all the dead air. Let's take it up.
Well, tell that to the people who own the abandoned building next door.
We're going to take up your space too. We're moving in.
Yeah.
That's all we got for tonight, Melissa. There's no more space.
Don't
We're
forget to
moving
tune in
into
next week.
space.
Tune in next week to see our update on that.
That's